All right, guys, I've just left Silverdale. I just came off of Buckland Hill Road, and we're just a quarter of a mile to the left turn that will go on to Palmer. So while this is a Bremerton address, you are just, less than a half a mile from really being in Silverdale. And of course, Dyes Inlet is on this side. There is a park along, this is
Turn left onto Northwest Palmer Lane. Then the destination is on your left.
There is a really cool park up here on the right-hand side. And then, of course, if you head down this way, you head the back way into Bremerton. It comes out near Olympic College.
In a quarter mile, the destination is on your left.
Palmer is a non-conforming road, meaning it's not like a planned neighborhood. So we have a little of this, a little of that. Older homes. I think that's going to tie into, what we anticipate for the home we're looking at, that it's an older home. I understand from the agent that it is owned by the same owners for 30 or better than 30 years. It is a single lane road, but there's some soft edges. So if a neighbor is pulling out, you're able to kind of pull over to the side. I'm going to consider it so far pride of ownership, even though there's no HOA or nobody pushing like you need to do this or need to do that. It appears to me that the homeowners near you would be people that take care of their property. Okay. And this is our listing.
The destination is on your left.
The agent tells
me
that the roof is just 10 years old. This is a really high-end, I think it's a 50-year architectural roof that I can tell. Aesthetically, it actually has a nice look to it. It looks like it's lovingly maintained. The paint looks in good shape. You do have older garage doors that could easily be changed to maybe give the house a little facelift. The driveway is in great shape. There's a little extra parking on the side there. Probably they had an RV of some sort. So let's get in and take a look. All right. So not only do you have the 3-car garage, but there is also just a nice big driveway. And there is a lot of natural landscaping. So looks like wild rhododendrons and then the pines. That could make this lot a little dark, but we actually have a really dark day today, lots of clouds, so I can't get a great sense of it. But the big tell is usually where we don't see grass. We usually know we're not getting a lot of sunlight, so just something to bear in mind. Could we take some of this landscape out, trim up the trees a bit, and try to get in more natural light? This covered patio goes all the way around here, and I think when I was in the backyard you saw that we had a gate also on this side. So natural gas, hose bib back here, cable and internet. I love homeowners like this that just completely take care of their houses. Concrete aggregate patio. Solid wood door, it looks like oak. And then we come in onto oak floors. Get my shoes off here. So, when we get into homes this age, sometimes the dating just really has to do with the texture on the walls, the sharp edge corners as opposed to curved corners. You do come into an entryway with a skylight, but you are right in the entryway. You can't just kind of hang out here. So you got to decide where to go. We're going to go to the right first. And huge living room. So you talked about, possibly needing a space where you can entertain. The listing agent said that they had thought about putting in new carpeting in here. It doesn't smell. I'm not seeing anything gnarly, but you'll want to replace this carpet. There's a couple of cleaning spots. I'm calling them bleached out. I don't think bleached was used, but overly cleaned spots. But more than anything, there's a traffic pattern. So this room's carpet needs to be replaced. Nice little window seat here. Looks like storage underneath that. Looking out into the front yard. This ceiling is vaulted, so that would suggest to me that if you wanted to, getting skylights in here could help with some light. But this house is going to live dark. So, you know, this is what this room is like today. Granted, cloudy day, but what this room is like at 4 in the afternoon in the summer without lights on. So the room off of the kitchen. So this technically would be the dining room. You could, if you say, you know, we don't really have formal dining, you know, what do you put in here? Maybe you put matching hardwoods in here. Gosh, guys, you know, could this just be opened up more? And I don't think that's a really hard thing to think about. Frankly, I would probably say it would be worth the investment. So open this space up more, bring the hardwoods in here, maybe open it even on this side, maybe even opening this entryway so you're not losing anything. There's no coat closet. So, you know, what if we push this entire opening up, push that opening up and have true more of a great room concept, and then have formal dining in this area, formal sitting in this area, and then a family room here with just a breakfast bar. So the house is just under 2,200 square feet, so it's not a big house. Nice kitchen, very nice. And you know, once lights are on, it's light, but gosh, I feel like, you know, change this door out to a total glass door, or I'm spending all your money, by the way. Take all of this out and put it like a 3-panel big sliding glass door in here. That will help with the light. This could really be a cool little wine spot. There's power there. There's already a grommet here. So could a beverage refrigerator go in here, and wine bottles or a bar? That could be easy. This is a super kitchen. Beautiful choice in granite. Nice, beautiful bullnose. Real oak cabinets. And so it's oak and real wood. That looks like fur to me. But even though they're a little dated, there's room here for underlighting. They're in excellent shape, and you've got natural gas to the house, so there should be no reason you couldn't maybe pull in gas for cooking. Oh, nice, decent pantry. It's efficient. It's a reach-in, step-in pantry, not so much a walk-in, but a lot of good storage in there. So, yeah, I just want to lean way into opening this wall up and opening the one out there. Maybe putting skylights in that room, and maybe a big bank of sliding glass doors right here. Okay. I think we'll go down first because we get to the garage and maybe laundry here. So this is like a half level. 6 steps up. Laundry room, utility room. So water heater, and what year? 07 it looks like. And I could be wrong on that, but serial number, I don't know, I think 07. Washer and dryer hookup, electric dryer, but also gas optional. Electric for the washer. So Water goes in there. Dryer definitely, to me, would go here. Lots of workspace, lots of great storage. You know, I can see why they stayed in this house for so long, because it's just a really nice layout, a lot of good space. This should be a little office. Yeah, so, you know, a little bonus room here. Again, not a lot of light, but this window is really high. Hot tub is right there. You know, would it make any sense to maybe put French doors right in here? Or at a minimum, you know, bring the window down. But if you had French doors in here, there's a way to get out to the hot tub. But this technically is just a bonus room. There's no closet, so this does not count as a bedroom. And this should be our garage, I think. Oh, it's so dark. Okay, where's the light switch? Oh boy. Okay, where's the light switch, guys? Can't see anything. Let's try this. No? Okay. This will close on me. There we go. Okay. 2-car garage here. Probably storage to go under the house. So the 2 doors. Again, extremely clean. Panel, gas furnace. The gas furnace was updated in 2015. Replaced furnace, retrofit, yeah, 2015, November. So, not an ancient breaker, which is nice. Okay. And then the next bay. Okay, so that's the door that we saw on the outside, and this is the pass-through. Oh, and so there's storage up here too, so that'll be a drop-down set of stairs there, a little workbench. Very nice. Very nice. So technically this is a multi-level house. And these are real hardwood, so this is oak. So back in the entryway, and we'll go up. First door on the right is the hallway bathroom. Ceramic tile. This is like crayon. It looks pink, and it is pink. Hollywood lights. This is right up your alley. These are the kind of things I know you guys would tackle. So, yeah, probably original fiberglass. Tub, big, huge linen. Another linen. This house is in perfect shape. So funny. Old security system, I think. So maybe this works like a coat closet, but I'd be tempted to shelve the heck out of it for more storage. All right, kids' rooms, primary. And no popcorn on the ceiling. It's just a heavy orange peel texture. This is a step-in wardrobe, so it's not quite deep enough to call it a walk-in, but it's deeper than a normal wardrobe. So 1 closet there. And that is it on closet. So this is definitely, in my opinion, closet shy. The bedroom is gigantic. Interesting. I don't know if it buys you much, but nice big wall here. Again, here I am spending your money. You know, could we frame this out and put a door and make it a walk-in? Or does it just make sense to get a bank of wardrobes, like a really nice looking, I'm using IKEA as an example, but the contained store have some really cool wardrobes. So would it make some sense to get a bank of wardrobes? Otherwise, this easily fits a king-size bed. It's a really nice size room. The view over the backyard. And the roof, they said, was about 10 years old, and it's a very fancy roof. Minimum 50 or it might be a 100-year architectural roof. So quite nice. Bathroom's dated, but I know, again, that's straight up your alley. Okay. Also, so there's a setback here. So this could easily be more storage. So, you know, do we get a wardrobe in here, use this, really max it out, you know, optimize it, and then have additional storage here that's kind of seasonal. So in there, you know, if it's winter, the winter stuff, the spring goes out here, I don't know. The spare rooms look nice size. This is a queen size bed. And this doesn't even have to be the headboard wall. You know, most people would probably put the headboard here or the headboard here. But nonetheless, there's tons of territory. So that's good. And then this is a very standard, very small wardrobe closet. So I would work some storage magic and do some kind of organizer in there, because that's not a lot of space for a girl. Or once again, maybe we get a freestanding storage piece. If you use this as a headboard wall, you know, there's plenty of room to do a wardrobe piece there. I would do something that you would leave behind from a resale standpoint. And then this has the same situation with the layout. You know, I'd be tempted to put the headboard, you know, on that wall dresser there, just because I like things that are a little more logical, not having my head right under the window. But this closet is much bigger than the other closet. So, and it has organizers built in, which is nice. Anyways, we know we're just under 2,200 square feet, so it's not a giant house. So I would say what it's lacking is some light, which with some projects, I think you could pull more light in, and storage. You know, this is a nice drop zone, but again, you have this recess. So this could be a really cool, you know, wardrobe of some sort. Jim and I have one that we got in an antique store, and it's actually not quite deep. You know, it's not very deep. It's a pretty piece, but it is where we hang the dog leashes and visitors' coats. So I really like an awful lot about this house. I think why it hasn't maybe sold immediately is because of the lack of natural light. When the lights are on themselves, it is very bright. And today is a dark day outside, but maybe some of that is satisfied by doing a couple of heavy lifting projects. You know, we're not talking things small, but gosh, what if we had a glass door here? We opened this opening up a bit. Let's say I don't spend all of your money, but maybe we put a glass door here. We tackle some of the branches on the pine trees in the back, because the backyard gets more sun than the front yard, and that makes sense. I think you're facing west here. And then over here, since we have a vault, we don't have a room above us for sure. Could we put in 3 skylights? Now this is facing east, but that would bring in nice morning light. Trim up, maybe cut down some of the underbrush out there, or leave the underbrush so you're not seeing the cars drive by on the road, but then clean up some of the branches. So those are my thoughts on Palmer. I like it a lot more than I thought I would. And as a matter of fact, if I hadn't thought anything about it, I would say I really, really like it. And I always appreciate a house that is just well maintained. And based on what I'm seeing, these homeowners really took nice care of this home. So that's Palmer. All right, here's that little carport I was mentioning. There is a man door on the side of the house. Again, everything looks very, what I would call lovingly taken care of. Very nice pride of ownership in the house. Windows appear to be updated vinyl windows. So it's a nice little man door here. Windows there. Fully fenced. A gate going in the back. I'm never good at these. Oh gosh, I did it. Okay, awesome. Oh, this is nice. So pull through garage. So you can see they have their own beauty bark. So that's a really cool way to be able to do it. So the garage door on the other side, garage door on the back side. So pull through. And then gates here. So if you weren't pulling through, maybe you close this off, you know, so pets are good. There's actually a dog run on this side, which is kind of nice. I don't remember if you guys have pets or not. But yeah, nice little dog run with a covered area so we can stay out of the way. Hot tub. Literally everything buttoned up here. So I'm just going to say probably a little dated maybe, but I'd much rather have a dated house that was lovingly maintained than a blingy new house that has a lot of problems. I would be really shocked to see any problems in this house just based on how the exterior looks. Lots of needly trees around here, so this roof is going to need you to blow it off probably twice a year. And I'm not going to get a good angle on the gutters, so I don't know if they're gutter guards, but it seems to me it would be a candidate for gutter guards. Composite deck here. You know, I don't know. This deck, if you ever wanted to do it, making this deck come all the way across probably isn't a bad idea. Upgraded power, that might have been for the hot tub. So that makes sense that the power coming off scoots through the crawl space, and it goes down underground and across over here for the hot tub. Let's see what this little garden house has in it. Not a tall door, so it was probably a kid's space, and I think she did say they raised their kids here. They've owned this for 30 years. So definitely it was a kid's hangout. You know, despite the little door, I think Juvie, you'd fit in that door really well. But you could put screening material on this and just duck your head to go in. This would be a nice little garden shed. The brick on the chimney looks in great shape. So I don't see any worn mortar there. Again, this is me looking at it from a distance, but that looks good. It's interesting. I'm sure the chimney cleaner person likes that there's a trap door there that makes it a little easier to clean the chimney. The siding looks great. Looks like they brought their natural gas up so you could put a grill on the back deck. The soffits all around the house look in really good shape. So I really do like this. I know it's not quite as blingy as the other house. So we're probably not going to have a view, but so far so great.